It's the Caleb Lee MTG Gathering Show.
I think I'm just going to grab this Mox Diamond to stay open. Kind of a weaker pack. Let's grab the Wooded Foothills and potentially be like a Ren and 6 type thing. Emeritus is kind of fun. Could jam that too. Grab a little Crucible effect thing. Thingy-dinger-ding. I don't like these cards at all. Could grab Torsten for a potential like Flash or Natural Order. Could grab Jace to power out with this Mox Diamond, maybe. If we had Fast Spawn, then the upheaval would get more exciting. This could just be the Fast Spawn waiting room. Some signals that artifacts are open with the Opal and Cannoneer there. Yeah, sometimes you have to add another color and just have no playables. It's certainly looking like black is open this run too, so we might just have back-to-back bug decks here. May have to bug myself. Oh, that's just my constant state of being. What's up, Mox Diamond doing in the lands? I think Emeritus is solid. What are we looking for here? We have the starts to a big mana blue deck with the Basalt Monolith, the Emeritus, and the Upheaval. We also have a start to maybe some kind of land synergy deck with the Walk-In Closet, the Mox Diamond, and the Wooded Foothills. And so the thing that could bridge the gap between those two strategies is Fast Spawn, of course. Because that would help turn Walk-In Closet into a combo card, and then also, if you can Upheaval with a green floating, then Fast Spawn just lets you replay your hand, which is pretty good. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, just a very reasonable chance we end up being bug colors. How does it work when Kavero exiles Grist? Is that a good thing to do? Yeah, kind of wishing that I had moved into the artifact deck. I do like the artifact deck. Saga and Workshop in here. Yeah, so Chain of Smog and Witherbloom Apprentice do work together. But we also got the Witherbloom Apprentice like last pack. I guess somebody got the 3 mana. Yeah, we should grab the Chain of Smog. Because somebody got the Pestmaker that would combo with it. The other options here would be like Coalition Relic or maybe a Wan Chi Tong. Maybe Lose Focus, just some early interaction. Tameo is interesting. That's an excellent fucking card. I think I just want the Bayou now that we're like pretty certain we're playing black. Back-to-back bug decks. Caleb, you're so original. You're so out of ideas. What are you doing? Unearth is cute with Grist. Wasteland plays with Walk-In Closet, but if we have no way of speeding that process up with like Fast Spawn or something, then I'm less interested. What else would we be grabbing? Maybe Blooming Marsh? I feel like that's the sort of card that might just wheel. Candelabra does not really help. Sylvan Caryatid. Karn, maybe? Oh, what about Damnation? Oh, Relic of Sauron. Relic's pretty sick. It fixes, it ramps, and then it's just got like a loot effect attached, right? To draw 2 and discard a card. So if you have this Relic of Sauron and the mana to activate it every turn, you're just never going to flood out, which is a very nice condition to have on a mana rock. Because one of the ways that a ramp deck can lose is destroying all your mana rocks and not doing anything. All ramp and no pamp, as we say. Hey, Abadoobie, thanks for the sub. Thanks 108 months. You don't think it would have any loyalty? Ikavero copied Grist. I don't think that matters. Wait, maybe it does. I don't know. I was thinking about Soul Cauldron with Grist. But Soul Cauldron doesn't make the creature a Planeswalker. It just gives it the Planeswalker abilities. Yeah. Oh, it enters as, so you would get the starting loyalty. Nice. Yeah, cheers, Abadoobie. Hope you're having a good one. Oh, cool. My 2 main options came back, the Wan Shi Tong and the Coalition Relic. I get to kind of choose between those 2. Let's try this Conductor. Got a couple things worth blinking. I did think about Eternal Witness a little bit. Redundancy if it breaks. Yeah, we also have, like, Self-Mill, which plays well with the Eternal Witness. So you can, like, mill part of your combo and then witness it to your hand. And get some selection in that way. Why am I yawning so much? What's wrong with me? There's a Mystic Confluence there, just in case we don't have too many 5-drops. Get some more 5-drops. Overrun Tomb's a little covered by the Bayou. I'm a little bit worried about the double black on Voidwalker. That's why I'm not really considering it here. I think I'd rather have the Cub. I'll just take this Cub, I guess. No power? Yes, I am powerless. A little Pest Infest action. I was going to take Delta. Not a bad deck for a Recurring Nightmare. You got Grist that's really good with it, and then there's also Wan Shi Tong. It's a pretty sweet one. I think I just want this Birds. I think I just want to fix this terrible curve. The Hedge Maze adds a lot to my mana base. The Zernor would make a lot of sense if we had Fast Bond, which we don't. I kind of just want to grab this Reanimate. Maybe the same thing with Thoughtseize here. I haven't minded with a Bloom Charm. Lorien Revealed would help the mana out a little bit. Actually, would it? It would not. Sanctum would. More tapped lands, I think I'm playing Archon, even though I'm like not really a Reanimator deck. Just got that one Reanimate. Oh, I've got this thing. Yeah, let's grab this. We also have the mana to just cast it, you know, the Archon. I could see us getting there. Speaking of, that Ugin's more tempting than it should be. I think I'm going to grab Sewers. I am tempted by the Blood Chief's Thirst. Dr. Watt! 86, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 5 months there. Archon, another juicy hit for Shelldock. Yeah, I don't think I play the Crucible effect. Might even cut the Wasteland. Very awkward because the currency converter would be a cute way to bin Archon. I'll grab the recurring. Love you, Caleb. Greetings from Germany. You're often the last thing I see. Hey, cheers, Doctor. That sounds so ominous. You are often the last thing that I see. I guess the Relic of Sauron can bin. And then we have Self Thoughtseize. We have Wayfinder randomness, Grist binning randomness. Usually love Chris Ron's art. Big same. I actually scooped some of his artist proofs, even though he wasn't doing sketches and paintings on the back at the time. Just because I was a big fan of his stuff. Hardcaster gonna get you close to casting, and yeah, just ramping in. But you can go like turn 3 Recurring Nightmare, turn 4 Relic, turn 5 Loot Away. Get it back. When the original Lyra art was on eBay, you had fantasies of buying it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love that Lyra art. I'm pretty sure that's one of the cards I got a proof of. But yeah, I'm sure a new playable mythic angel had some crazy price. Yeah, there's a few magic art collectors with really deep pockets that love snapping up new mythics, especially angels and dragons and stuff, planeswalkers, that sort of thing. And then those cards are also, stuff everybody else wants. This would be 8 green, which is not quite enough. 11 black, seems like a lot. The Foothills can't get blue, right? 9 blue, a little light. We'll go 10 green. I think this is 10 black and 9 blue. This is 9 black. Well, I think, yeah, 10 green, 9 black, 9 blue makes sense. We want to have the most green possible for those turn 1 dorks and such. And the Relic of Sauron can fix for double blue and double black. It is no help with these green cards. Would have been a great card this turn, that Thoughtseize. But I think I'm going to be tapping out for a little bit. Currently thinking about whether I want to play the Basalt Monolith or Grist on my turn here. Kaido to hand. Okay. I guess that influences me a little. Don't want that one ninjutsuing in. Rebuying Thunder Trap. That'd be a bit of a... That would be a bit of a sticky wicket, as they say. You impressed with the green Emeritus? Oh, the regrowth one? Card seems fine. No ninjutsu. Interesting. You think Impractical Joke is awkward? Do you? I don't think it's the worst removal spell in the cube by a long shot. The LED's a little terrifying. Kind of implies that they've got breach combo in there. Well, that's annoying. Glad I had to land. Could have been embarrassing. My last hand was so gassy, and they made me shuffle it away. So mean. I do not, comrade. Flame of a Norm. Do 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 do. Oh shit, what up? Hey, comrade Crab Cake, thanks for the $5 donation. I think they got me because of this flame. Oh, they exiled. They exiled their burn spell. Oh, I should have seen if they would have stacked more targeting themselves with this brain freeze. I think we just have lethal regardless, but it would have been funny to watch them self-deck. Hey, good morning, Jekyll Demon. Thanks for the sod. Thanks for 73 months. Yeah, my brain was very much on blinking the Wan Shi Tong. I almost did it to get rid of the Narset on my previous turn, so I could have 2 more tokens, but I was really glad that I left it up, In terms of Brain Freeze decking, World Spine Worm could give me another turn. I think that's pretty niche, though. How many games is having a single extra turn gonna let me win? Maybe if I had like Psychic Frog or something that could let me keep bidding it. I kind of like Deceit from what I saw. I'm just gonna bring in Deceit over Upheaval. Fire it off as a duress. Alright, we got ourselves a song request from Comrade Crab Cake. Ah, some Space Slug. You know what? I think I do recognize this album art. Now that we're here. You had an improbable win against Breach with Brazen Borrower. I mean, I could see it, just tying up 2 more mana. You can't respond to a LED crack, of course, because that's a mana ability or something. Mana ability that causes things to change zones. That's a weird one. Okie doke. Could run out the Recurring Nightmare. Could also just try to aggro them. Got me. You're jealous of the opponent? Yeah, they are living their best life over there. LED and Black Lotus with the Breach. Well, that's probably winning. How long have I been married to chat? I would not describe myself as married to chat. I've been married since July, so almost a year. I have to assume they can win from here. Congrats. Hey, thanks. Yeah, my wife is fucking awesome. Lutri copying Impractical Joke is an answer to an Ouroboride. A very mana-intensive answer. Try that, I guess. I do almost want the World Spine in. I'm gonna jam this, though. Well. Chill tune. Great tune. Kind of an atrocious hand. I'm not going to lead on Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to go get a Surveil land. And then Thoughtseize on turn 2. Opponent's down to 5. Maybe I should be Thoughtseizing turn 1. In case I just go like Black Lotus draw 7. I mean, I might not mind that. So I was going to bounce the Mind Stone, and, well, I guess if they go to bounce it, I can sack in response. Yeah, they didn't go to bounce it. Yippers. They might be just taking the extra turn to run out the Brazen Borrower. They might have also drawn Hull Breacher here, and that would suck. Okay, cool. Flame of Anor, sure. Yeah, it's a bummer. Mostly upset about losing this Relic of Sauron. So there's two lines here that I think make sense. One of them is cracking the Mind Stone, looking for a green source to run out this Ouroborite and have like an actual clock. The other one is to like serve for 4 and then dry Upheaval and then just replay Sewers, which I don't think I like. Yeah, getting the Relic Shattered was a real bummer. Guess I'm slamming. Slamming! I guess they must have bottomed. Okie dokie. Yeah, the reason to block is to prevent ninjutsu, because we do know that they've got that one walker in. Flame of Anor doesn't target this Emeritus very well. We got that ward 2 going for us. Yeah. Eight plus 5 is 13. The Ouroborod's just lethal, right? 8 plus 6. Yeah, I didn't realize they were that low. I was like mulling through my options. Do I want to hold up Witherbloom Charm in case they've got Breach? Do I want to, activate this and copy one Tong? I've been ousted. On some standard earlier, playing Black Green X with a new walker. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't really played standard. This whole new standard format I haven't really touched. I should get back into it. This is upheaval, huh? Why not? Two burritos. What did I do to deserve two burritos? Thank you, babe. Not a bad little turn. Pretty close to this shell dock being turned on, too. I expect we just want to wasteland next turn, though. Kind of hoping they just don't hit lands, of course. Nice. This activation means that they haven't hit their red yet, I think. Oh. Yeah, I'll still do that. And the idea is we conductor this Emeritus and draw another 3 then. Which, I don't know how you all feel about it, but seems like a lot of cards to me. Yeah, then we all aboard the Emeritus, and draw those 3 more cards, probably just find the Smog combo, probably find something. So even though it hits a lot of my delicious acceleration, we're going to bring in this Vicious Rivalry. So they seem very swarmy all-in sort of deal. Maybe I'll cut Cub. Kind of dig that. This this is a cube deck, isn't it? It's a pile, that's for sure. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Vicious Rivalry. It is awkward that it hits our own stuff, but I've also had to just like stone win me games against artifact decks, being a little pernicious deed, you know. How are we getting the Archon in the yard? We have a couple ways. Self-Thoughtseize, looting with our 4-mana artifact, Seder Wayfire bidding, Grist bidding. But you can also just ramp it out, right? Yeah, we cast Archon in the first match. The deck looks kind of fair. So I think fairness is like perhaps the least useful way to evaluate a cube deck I can imagine. It doesn't even mean the same thing to everybody. Hey, System of a Down. Thanks to the sub. The 109 months. Fuck Ice. Love chat. Mary Cube. Mary Cube. Some good picks there, System. So assuming they don't care about my 1-1 here, I might be able to recur this Wanchi Tong, which could be pretty sick. We'll see. Damn. I figured they either had Stomp or Remand here. That's kind of what I'm getting at, Triplin. Like, some people would even consider Ouroboride unfair. Or last game where we blinked our Emeritus like 5 times to draw 15 cards, whatever it was. Some people will even call curves of fair cards, like Thoughtseize into Hymn to Trock into Mind Twist, like unfair. Or like Force Spike into Mana Drain with Force Will backup. Like, oh, that's unfair. And it's like, well, what the fuck does fair mean? And there's other people that use it only for combos, regardless of whether the combo's any good or not. Absolutely useless. I think I like Ravelry for 2 here. Get that staff off the board. So they didn't play Bone Crush, eh? Reads like they're holding up Remand or something. Ow. Excuse me. That's a bummer. Because this thing would not have cared about this. Should have played around it, I guess. Unfair for You is Breach and Doomsday pretty exclusively. Yeah, but that's like kind of a narrow thing to have its own term that people talk about incessantly. That's how I feel about it. It's interesting that it's not a 4/4. Except his name is Kevero Mindbitten, and he's a 4/4 Spider-Man here in addition to his other types. I guess because Grist is, like, usually a creature, it didn't override, right? Well, fuck me, I guess. Kavir doesn't make it a creature. He's a 4/4 Spider-Man hero. I don't even see the 4/4 text over here on my Grist. Should remember that, huh? In case it does become a creature. Appreciate that 76 months there, Kerplop. Yeah, I'd like to get this Emeritus out, but I don't think I can. I think I just have to upheaval. The old desperation upheaval. Wait, is that not cast? It says play the exiled card. Play is cast? I don't think it is. Let's see, like, play lands and stuff. I don't think it's the same thing as cast. It matters here, because I can, like, upheaval and then replay Shelldock to activate it before they even get Containment Priest down. Or I could float a mana, upheaval, and then go untap land Talisman. Get this fucking Grove out of here. Shelldock does get around timing restrictions. Except for lands. You can still only play a land during your turn. It's weird. Yeah, Windbrisk was the classic. Put an Anthem into play mid-combat. Kind of miss that land. I kind of want to build an old-timey vibes cube. Get to play with Windbrisk Heights and such again. Pre-modern cube? Not necessarily. There's a lot of those around. Ha-ha! Now I am the mighty monarch! Tremble before me! Ah, Shelldock would have hit the Archon. The opponent's avatar is a Toucan Puffin. Mine is dead. I think I straight up lost the game because I went Sky Coach into Boride instead of playing the Shelldock Isle out, which is a bummer. The Recurring Nightmare can you bank this thing, which can exile one of their things, but none of their things save me. Chain of Smog would work, Philip Broncos, but we have rules against backseating here. So instead of Chain of Smogging myself, I'm going to time you out for 5 minutes. I'm going to concede this game. Now, I don't have a chance to find it for myself. Thanks for your help. Probably would have missed it. Got him, I guess. Feels like I was the one got. Yeah, I like Charm for that doggo. It's an obnoxious doggo. And the life gain could actually be useful. I really disliked having Waterlogged Grove in this matchup earlier. It is nice to have good mana, though. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it for an island. And then we 999. I might even just cut Recurring Nightmare, even though it's really good in this deck. It certainly works sec. They would have had to sack one of their things. They would have gained 3 life. They wouldn't have lethal in play. The game would continue. Just because the opponent isn't like literally dead on the spot doesn't mean the line doesn't work. It was indeed restful, JC Foxpox. Hmm. Oh, fun, Kaimuni. Hmm. Could sack and pop that Abora. I think I just want to flash in the Conductor. Keep that grist ticking up. Wanna get love coming out in the chat? You poo-to weeding motherfuckers. Oh, they should let me block first. Yeah, the plan was to down tick, sack the token, like cash in my grist on the token for the 4/4 Evora. Well, that sucks. Can't block to let it live this time. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was worried about them upticking and just killing me over a couple turns. Which this pile of cards might do, but like I also have a pile of cards coming up. The Tar Pit could threaten to kill the Minskin Boo. I think I'm just going to play my Emeritus. That was so much worse than if I had served with the Tar Pit Hum. Potentially game losing there. Fuck. You serve with the Tar Pit and they like throw out a bolt or something. You feel like an idiot. Because then you time walk yourself in that direction. Hadn't seen the Giant yet either. They might have both. Like they might have had Reprieve and the Giant up here. Might just be fucked. Do we have any outs? Always. Here they got me though. The Philia can just blink it out and they have the mana to pay for it. They have enough damage. Sometimes, if you have a specific out, it's correct to play towards it. But usually it's more like, well, if I get generic answer to this here, if I play a draw spell, I'll get 3 cards, and one of them could reanimate a thing, and this one can kill a thing. Or maybe I've got a sweeper, and then this lets me stabilize. You know, it's answers in batches. Especially if you're behind. And passing with double blue up is so awkward. We can spend the turn thought seizing, and then it's like real rough if they just like play a white removal spell on the Mox Diamond. That's kind of just guessing what they've got. Fair enough. I would describe that as an outgo lands. Opponent's misplaying. That's like a part of Magic. That's not a... Alright, I'll bring it back, I guess. Back when I was doing a lot of playtesting for tournaments and such, I playtested with a guy who was adamant that if you made an error in playtesting, if one person caught it, you didn't like rewind to fix the error so that like both players were playing perfect at all times and stuff, because this is not an accurate Magic game. If one deck is harder to play and people, your average opponent like plays it worse because of that, well, that should be in the playtesting. Hey, Mr. Neb, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 96 months there. You and Jorbs playing Spire was inspiring. Please do again if you want. Yay, Cube. Jorbs actually came into the chat earlier and was saying he was very grateful. He's like, Caleb, thank you for giving me a clear example of why I'm never going to play multiplayer Slay the Spire ever again. If anyone ever asks, I can just point them to that video. So, doesn't sound like he wants to jam more Slay the Spire, but who knows? Maybe it's reasonable if you're testing for a Pro Tour or Worlds or something. People on the Pro Tour and Worlds also make mistakes, Eric. Yeah, I cut Upheaval after last game because the only cards that we saw were a Reprieve and what was it, Mana Vault? I don't know. The 1 mana tap for 3. And Upheaval's kind of bad against a 1 mana tap for 3. Rude. Right. Yeah, the Gristmill Archon. I also milled my Chain of Smog for this Witherbloom Apprentice. Taking the turn to play the Basalt Monolith just means that the Recurring Nightmare is gonna resolve through a few more things, mostly soft counters. Shouldn't have tapped all my black mana there. That's alright. Nettle Cyst in the bin is interesting. I'm kind of surprised they didn't run that Nettle Cyst out. I guess they wanted to activate Retrofit, eh? Okie dokie. So this is another turn that I don't like how I played. Surprise! I don't think it was worth playing the Witherbloom just to gain the one drain in there. I don't think that mattered at all. And I could have gotten another Recurring Nightmare loop and been that Retrofitter Foundry too. And that would have been better. Bye, Grist. Yeah, Grist, very good with this Recurring Nightmare card. Ooh, a Wasteland. I was originally planning on Grist killing the Pyroglyph instead of... It's kind of an awkward card to put back in their deck because the comes into play trigger on it is so very powerful. But if you want Tong tuck a token, you don't get the trigger. And the trigger was important to me. Part of my whole deal here. Is this a good Recurring Nightmare deck? They all are, is the secret. If you got some like mid-rangey pile that comes to play value or whatever, then you got yourselves a good Recurring Nightmare deck. Got me. What Marvelous Bird? I really like Tongue. It's a fun one to Caracas back to your hand as well. I also had some fun winning with that. Just over and over and over. My favorite thing about Tongue is how many random spells just trigger it that you wouldn't think of. Your opponent's like, okay, end of turn Brainstorm. And I'm like, all right, 2 birds. There's one I saw for the first time earlier. It was like, just look at the top cards of your library, put one in your hand, the rest on the bottom, and like that was triggering it. And it was like, Jesus Christ. I think my Tongue itself got ousted, which is how I found out that It gives you tokens from Oust. Just nutty stuff. All right, I'm going to take a quick break before we fire up the next draft. And hopefully I'll play well for once in my life.